Powerful, stable and accurate. That's what Cobra are saying about their new King F9 Speedback iron. So I'm going to take a look at this iron a little bit more in depth in this review, give you guys some feedback, talk a little bit about the technology that Cobra are bringing to the table with the F9 iron. We've got GC2 HMT set up, hit some shots, show you some ball data and obviously give you my personal feedback. So just before we jump into the video, if you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed, then please consider doing so. Loads more golf content, club reviews, club comparisons, coaching tips coming your way throughout this year. So hit that bell icon, get notifications, any future videos that land on my channel, you'll be the very first ones to watch it. Also hook up on my social media platforms, which is both Instagram and Twitter, and the handles there are @MNGolfCoach. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the F9 iron here. So I've got this in the traditional progressive length set. Obviously they do a one length, even though this is a 7 iron. Obviously the one length of 7 iron is all the same length through the clubs. So talk about Speedback. We've seen the Speedback technology in the driver, that low skirt at the back of the sole, pulling CG deeper and lower back from that club face, creating higher ball speeds, launch, and a little bit of that MOI there. So making obviously forgiving. And a similar thing's happening here with the iron. We've got like a little lip at the back section of the sole that's lifted up away from the bottom of the sole, so it's not going to interfere with contact with the turf through impact, but it's sitting back and pulling that CG again lower and deeper, which is maximising ball speed, carry, and obviously forgiveness at the same time. Okay, so I've got myself set out at about 180 from the green. I've got a 7 iron in my hand, so I'm going to get this first one hit. And first impressions as I put that down by the golf ball, it's a very nice high polished finish to the golf club, so it looks very sort of quality as you put it down. Obviously we're going to see a bit of offset in this head, which we do. We've got the sort of white bottom groove there, and first instincts is I see a lot of toe, so that polished section of the toe, there's quite a lot of metal there in my eye, so it looks to be a lot in that toe section, which I'm not a greatest fan of, but again that's me being my personal thoughts. Top edge is obviously medium to thickish top edge, so it's very confident and sparring when you put it down by the golf ball. Okay, that feels good. Okay, nice sound to that. There's no indifferent sound there as that ball came off the club face. No real high pitch clicky or anything like that. Just a nice sort of solid sound as that came off the club face. So as well as this Speedback technology in the back of the club head here, Cobra have also put some tungsten weight in the heel and the toe section. So in the 4 iron to 7 iron we've got 33 grams in the heel and toe, and then as moving to that 8 iron and more lofted clubs that reduces to sort of 10%. So we've got a bit more tungsten in those longer irons, maybe where we need that little bit more forgiveness. It tends to be those harder irons to hit. So again, that's trying to work that, pull that weight into that heel and toe section, makes the club a little bit more stable through impact, especially on those miss hits. And then that CG is just changing from those longer irons where it's a lot lower and deeper, and maybe just starts to move up the club as the loft goes up as you work through the irons, where you obviously don't need the help so much in those more lofted clubs. So yeah, it does sit nice behind that golf. As I say, just a bit of a big toe section for my liking, but apart from that, it's quite a nice sort of shaping of the head. Yeah, again, that's a lovely strike. Very nice high ball flight on that particular shot, and yeah, stopping fairly quick, 183 carry. So as I say, this is a 7 iron I'm hitting, which is 29 degrees of loft, so it is on that strong side, as you'd probably expect for a club of this particular nature. You know, it's definitely aiming at that sort of golf who maybe wants that ultimate forgiveness, and obviously that as much distance as it possibly can. Okay, that was a touch low in the club face, but that's come off really well. Just pulled that fraction, still hit a desired distance, still stopped pretty good, 185 carry, and that spun up a little bit more at 6,100 there. So we've got, just talk a little bit about club face here, we've got the E9 technology that Cobra reviews for a few models now, which is basically like a variable face thickness, so it's 1.8 millimeters at its thinnest part on the actual club face, which is incredibly thin. Again, this is obviously helping with ball speeds as you move it across the club face. So taking a look at the back of the head, and it looks a very nice sort of clean look, but we've got this nice little what looks like like a carbon effect, but it's actually a 3 material medallion that goes into the back. So we've got aluminium, we've got a polyurethane and an acrylic foam mix here, which is all helping to try and dampen sound and improve the feel. And it's definitely, for me, it's doing a job. I think the sound of it, the acoustics is really, really nice. It's nothing too explosive as sometimes you tend to see from more of a game improvement iron. There's a very loud, sort of hollowy, high-pitched sort of crack to it. This is quite a nice sort of sound, and we know sound we tend to relate to feel a little bit more. Yeah, it's lovely. It feels really nice, that. For a game improvement iron, that feels lovely off the club face. Yeah, we've got that forged club face here, but feel-wise, it's really nice. Again, 183. So it looks to be quite a consistent carry number that I'm hitting for all these shots. Just moving it a little bit right to left, but I'm hitting the greens here. So the technology keeps on rolling here. So there's a lot of tech involved with it. And we saw this with the driver, to be fair, as well. So in the club face here, we've now got a milled, the CNC milled club face. And again, we've seen that in the driver. So this is allowing Cobra, through a production, is to get the face completely flat and very accurate, and accurate groove depth and width of the groove. So as all these irons will come off the production line, they can get a lot more precise on the tolerances of these club faces. Again, trying to help it create a more consistent spin and performance of the ball coming off the club face. The grooves change a little bit as they go through the set as well, so a little bit deeper on the grooves and the long irons, and they just get a little bit sort of more of a V sort of shape as you go through into the shorter irons. Also, okay, that was a little bit heavy, but it's come out okay. You can just pull that fraction, but again, I've hit a little thin one, a little heavy one, some decent strikes. They all seem to be coming out around 183 on the mark, so very consistent in what it's doing, even on these slight mishits. And the last thing to really sort of talk about is the Cobra Connect system, which comes as standard now on all Cobra clubs, which I think is a great feature. You know, if you want to start hooking up this through your phone, and you can track your shots through your round of golf, so give you some distances you're hitting each shot and track yourself around a golf course, which again I think is another added benefit when you're buying Cobra clubs. So yeah, really good system there. So let's go look at some numbers in a little bit more detail and see how that new F9 Speedback iron is performing. Right, okay, so look at some numbers. So 95.8 club head speed, so generally around that 95 mark for my 7 iron, averaging at 128. Now you can see that last one there caught a little bit heavy, so that's pulled my ball speed down a little bit, and the first one wasn't the best of contacts. I think I caught that a little bit heavy also. So that's just pulled my ball speed down a touch there, as you'd expect. And what it also does when you catch it heavy, it just pulls your spin number down. So you see 5.2 and 4.6, and the others were 6.1, 6.1 and 6.4. So that was more strike that's pulled that down. But again, looking at keeping those in and looking at it as an average, 5.743 on that spin number. But what is really interesting, bear in mind I've had those two iffy strikes, and I did have a little clean thinny one in there as well, is look at the distance number. Consistency, you know, there's 2 yards within all those 5 shots. You know, it ranged from 182 to 184. So really consistent. Even though I've dropped the ball speed off and then drops the spin, that helps the ball go further. They're still hitting that desired sort of distance, really, and a consistent distance through those slight mishits from me. Right, okay, so there we go. There's a new King F9 Speedback iron. And again, the driver, I saw some fantastic performance and a really sort of good price point. And this is no different. This is working really, really nicely. It's not an iron that I would choose personally, but obviously there's going to be a lot of golfers out there. And Cobra's saying this is going to suit a golfer anywhere from sort of 5 handicap up to a 25 handicap. So that's a big range of golfers that it would suit. I think probably maybe not see so many in the single figures maybe choosing that. You think they might go into a slightly slimmer sort of look, but definitely sort of those mid to high handicappers would definitely sort of benefit from an iron like this if they want that forgiveness and that obviously that little bit of ball speed. Saw some good speed there, some good distances from that 7 iron, and some consistent distances even though I move my strike. So maybe just proving the level of forgiveness in this club is doing a really good job. So definitely one on maybe for the radar for you guys to go and sort of try. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the new F9 iron and also the F9 range from Cobra. I think they've come out and packed a punch this year and hitting a really good price point that's a bit different to maybe the other brands out there also. So let me know your thoughts on the whole F9 range. Thanks very much for watching. Appreciate watching as always. If you haven't subscribed, then please consider doing so. Smash that subscribe button. Also click that bell icon Follow my social media platforms, Instagram and Twitter, and they are both at MN Golf Coach, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.